Alright, welcome back to part 2 of these 6 titles using Marvel. Alright, next up, I left off with Venom Space Knight. Next I'm talking about is Astonishing Ant-Man. I've seen like one person talk about this book. This book is like 10 issues in, and it is awesome. It's a well-written series by Nick Spencer, and it's one of 3 titles he's writing for Marvel. And I don't know why people are not talking about this. Kind of the same thing with the previous Ant-Man book. But that's how it was relaunched to the 5 issues. But this title, it's well written, and it's probably like people who are fans of Cassie Lang. This is the only title she's featured in because there's no Young Avengers title right now. But yeah, got a great supporting cast too in the form of people not only Cassie Lang, but also the Grizzly and Machine Smith. Excuse me. And of course, the main villain of the series is Darren Cross. Yeah, the only known villain that Scott Lang has ever associated being his own personal villain. Yeah, just him, Darren Cross's son, August Cross, and Crossfire, and a guy called the Power Broker are the main villains of the series. Yeah, another good series. Not many people talk about this one either. Black Widow by Mark Waid and Chris Simone. Yep. 4 issues in. Good. Along with Black Widow, which I don't remember who's writing that book, but yeah, not Black Widow. Mockingbird. 2 really good, awesome characters getting their own ongoing series. They're both awesome. Both got great artwork too. Next up, well, there's a story right now like trying to steal something, and it's kind of going a bit backwards, but it is progressing. Another title is Spider-Gwen. I don't know why not a lot of people talk about this book, especially since this character has been a hit for the past couple years. And I would think people would talk about this book, but not a lot of people are talking about it. I mean, I know that the annual was not everybody's cup of tea, but the series itself is still really good. I've enjoyed it. Just don't know why not everybody else is talking about it. But yeah, good series, and she's gonna take it off soon. Next, Spider-Woman. Yep. And I think this one's also written by Dennis Hopeless as well. Yeah, Spider-Woman being a mother. Yep. And like the previous book, which lasted 10 issues, this book is only just, right now, I think about 6 issues in right now. Yeah. This volume is only 6 issues in, so this writer's it's only written 16 issues so far. So, yeah. It's a nice little series. But I do recommend people who basically are curious to get more into Spider-Man books, try out Spider-Woman. It's a good series. And I know in the most issue she kind of fought her best friend, Carol's. Alright. Another really good series, and it's written also by the same person who writes Venom Space Knight, Spidey. If you're looking for classic Spider-Man stories, kind of told in modern day-ish, try out Spidey. If you don't like the Amazing Spider-Man tale, try out Spidey. Awesome series. I know I'm kind of like speed around this, but I don't want to spend too long about talking about these books. Another book, Mighty Thor. I've only heard a couple people talk about this, but awesome title. But it's written by Jason Aaron. This, along with Doctor Strange, was another really good series. And I'm curious exactly what that series, like how forward the series, at least that series is progressing forward. And the same thing with Thor. Especially the most recent issue. The series has gotten better, so it's the most recent issue, but it probably needs to recover a little bit more from its 2 really bad issues that it had recently. Issues 6 and 7. They're skippable. Alright. Next up is Captain America Sam Wilson. I've heard maybe 2 people talk about this book, aside from myself. Also, this is one of the other titles written by Nick Spencer. And this book, basically, if you're a fan, if you ever read the Mark Greenwald one, you would love this book. And this book is like 11 issues in. And like I said with a lot of these books, this is good. If you're just curious, just try out some Captain America stuff. If you're a fan of Captain America, try out this book and try out Captain America Steve Rogers. But the artwork might not be your cup of tea, but it's still a well-written series, especially since in the previous issue you had not the most recent issue that came out, but the one issue before that you had Return of Rage from New Warriors. Next up is Black Panther. Now this one I accept for having its first story being 11 issues. Why? Because that's what the writers said would be. But this book, 3-4 issues in, good. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. If you're curious, if you are fans, if you're curious about Black Panther, this title is definitely for you. My hoping is this particular volume will last more than 12 issues, because the last time Black Panther had a title, it only lasted 12 issues. Yep. All right. Next up is Moon Knight, a book that is only 4 issues in, and the last issue came out last week. If you're curious about a character you probably never heard of before, try out Moon Knight by Jeff Lemire. This book, now, Moon Knight, his channel, not the character Moon Knight, the guy who wears a mask, he loves this character like I do, and people should at least try out the title. Yeah. It's a well-written series, and at least it also has kind of a feel to it from Warren Ellison because he wears the M. Night costume. Yep. Alright, next up is Spider-Man 2099. This volume is 12 issues in, though it should be at least 24 because the book was relaunched last year. 24 issues, 12 issues in, still a good book. Peter David's awesome. Alright, next up is a book that I heard a few people talk about, and it's written by Tom King, the guy who also writes Batman. Vision. I was kind of surprised this character got an ongoing series, but he had potential having one, and I'm enjoying it. This book is getting praise. I'm happy with that. And I threw it on here, even though it's getting a lot of praise. I felt like talking about it because I like the Vision. I enjoy his series. Him and his family. I know his daughter's going to join the Champions very soon. Though I kind of wondering, why does he look the way he does? Why did he change his look from when he looked over the years with the yellow cape? Why is his cape now green? I don't understand why. His third look he's had since his debut. Alright, next series, written by Becky Cohen. First female writer to write the Punisher of this character. And, of course, Steve Dillon, who is a regular artist for this character, Punisher. 3 issues in. It's a parental advisory type series, but it's definitely a series where people should at least try out if you're curious. If you like the character from, if you liked him from the Netflix show, try out his ongoing series. I've heard people talk about the series. I'm enjoying it myself. I own the first issue. If I met Jerry Conway, I'm taking that issue number 1 with me so he can sign a good secret character. All right. Next up, Power Man and Iron Fist, the other tale written by David Walker. This book, 5 issues in, and it's still awesome. Now some people were not really into the book because of how Luke Cage was drawn. Who freaking cares? I mean, it kind of has sort of like that street. The artwork sort of basically, if you look at it more closely, it kind of builds upon where these characters come from. Luke Cage comes from black exploitation, and of course, Iron Fist comes from martial arts movies. Yeah. And of course, Jessica Jones is a supporting character in the series. And yes, I do know she's getting her own ongoing series soon. But I'm enjoying this series. And I own the first 3 issues. I'm going to get issues 4 and 5 soon in the future. This series I know is getting canceled, but I'm not happy this series is getting canceled at issue 11. Overall 16 issues. Howard the Duck by Chip. So I think he's taking over some other book. I don't know which one it was. I had to look it up. But this book I have enjoyed ever since the previous 5. I own just about every single issue that's come out for this particular run. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I have to ask, why is this series ending for? I mean, this is like one of those other humor titles. And I've heard maybe one person talk about this book, and that's Comic Uno from Comic Frontline. She's the only person I've heard actually talk about Howard the Duck. But why are people not trying out this book? It's not dark. It's not gritty. It's not brooding. It's not serious. It's funny. And the most recent issue, they brought back Beverly, who was a long-time supporting character of Howard the Duck for years. Finally makes a return. And figure out what the heck she's been up to since she was last time she was seen. Yeah. So, yeah, another really good. And my last series, which I have talked about this one, I own almost all the issues except the last two that come out. Scarlet Witch by James Robinson, and of course his rotating dwarf artist. Series of standalone issues, and like I've said, 8 issues in, still going strong. It's only had one bad issue. I think it was issue 5. It was pagan stuff. I really didn't care for it. But overall, awesome title, and I do highly recommend it. Alright, that's the last of the titles I do recommend. Stay tuned for more videos I plan on doing in the near future. But I feel like doing this two-parter because, well, some people are thinking, oh, there's not a lot of good titles published by Marvel, like 1 or 2. But these, like, 36 titles are all really good, and I do highly recommend them. Okay? So stay tuned for my next video when I get a chance to do it. So, see you there. Bye.